Here we go. 1973. A year of velvet jackets and ringing cash registers. Soul met glam, rock met orchestras. These are the songs that turned Saturday nights into stories you still tell. Number 1. Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On. Not a pickup line, a philosophy. Marvin and co-writer Ed Townsend took a simple plea and stretched it into a slow-burn sermon. Silk on the surface, steel underneath. The band breathes, the congas whisper. Marvin testifies like the lights just went low. He'd wrestled with heavier themes the year before. Now he leaned into tenderness and desire, grown up and unashamed. Suddenly, intimacy sounded like liberation. The single didn't just chart, it ruled. Number 1 in the US, a bestseller of the year, and the blueprint for every candlelit slow jam that followed.
Let's get it on.
Decades later, you still hear that first sigh and feel the room tilt. It's not just a song, it's permission to be vulnerable, human, and present right now. And that's Marvin's magic. He makes honesty sound like a chorus you already know. Number 2, Roberta Flack, Killing Me Softly with His Song. A whisper that filled every room. Roberta heard an earlier version on a plane and thought, slower, closer. She brought in that heartbeat groove. The hush of a crowd leaning forward. One voice, one story, sounding like it was written just for you. The backstory became legend. Words inspired by a singer in a small club. Feelings too big for the table. Roberta's arrangement turned it into a confessional you could play on the radio. It lived at number 1 for weeks and later swept the Grammys, proof that softness can be the strongest thing in the room. It's the rare hit that makes silence part of the band. Every pause lands like a memory you're not ready to share, and then she shares it anyway. That's why it stays.
Killing me softly with his song.
A love letter, a diary page, and a timeless lesson in restraint. Number 3, Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Fairy tale title, Grown Up Goodbye. Bernie Taupin wrote about walking away from glitz. Elton staged it like cinema. Those stacked harmonies, that rolling piano, drama without a costume change. They cut the album in France, chasing inspiration and echoes down hallways. This single came out gleaming, grand but somehow private, like a wave from the limo window nobody else saw. It became a signature, soaring into the top 10 on both sides of the Atlantic, number 2 in the US, and never left the set list of your life. What makes it sting is the choice in the chorus, not bitterness, clarity. The moment you realize the party's fun, but it isn't home. Elton doesn't slam the door. He closes it softly, and that's why you hear it. Number 4, The Rolling Stones, Angie. The loudest band in the world goes quiet and floors you. Acoustic guitars knit together, Nicky Hopkins' piano sighs, and Jagger sings like a man who's used up his last alibi. They tracked the album in far-off places, chasing new air. This ballad felt like a postcard from the edge. Rumors swirled about who Angie was. The Stones shrugged. Let the myths do the promo.
When will those clouds all disappear?
Number 1 in the US, proof that even a band built on swagger could win with a whisper. Angie works because it doesn't promise happy endings. It just sits with the ache and names it. And sometimes, that's the only medicine that works. A tender detour that became a landmark. Number 5, Pink Floyd, Money. A cash register became a drummer. Tape loops clicked. A sly bass line strutted in 7/4 like it owned the sidewalk. Somehow, the most experimental band in the room delivered a radio single with a grin. They built it at Abbey Road, brick by brick. Coins, tills, guitars that sounded like arguments, then a solo that kicks the door. It cracked the American charts, top 20, and opened FM gates for the rest of prog rock to wander through. The joke inside the groove still lands, a song about capitalism that sells like crazy. But the reason it lasts? That riff feels like a decision. Step forward, don't apologize, count the beats your own way. Even the cash register sounds like it's nodding along. Number 6, Led Zeppelin, Die Macher. title that's a punchline, say it like Jamaica, and a track that plays dress up with reggae while keeping a doo-wop heart. It's Zeppelin winking, loosening the belt, letting the summer in. Recorded in their 1973 Whirlwind, it's all splashy drums, roomy guitars, and Plant smiling through the mic. Purists argued, radios didn't.
All those tears I cried.
The single cracked the US top 20 and proved even the heaviest band could be playful and still sound huge. Not every experiment needs to write the textbook. Some just need to soundtrack a top-down drive and a joke you can't explain later.
I still love you so.
This one does both, with Salt Air on the chorus. Number 7, Paul McCartney and Wings, Live and Let Die.
Live and let die.
Bond finally plugged in the amp. McCartney writes it like 3 hits in one. Stately theme, rocket boost chorus, and a reggae glide, all stitched together by George Martin's cinematic orchestration. It explodes out of the speakers, proof that a former Beatle could reinvent a franchise in under 4 minutes. The track blasted into the top 10 around the world, peaking just shy of number 1 in the US, and picked up an Oscar nomination because of course it did. What keeps it fresh is the whiplash, tenderness, detonation, smirk. It's a car chase that makes time for a love scene and still gets you home by curfew.
Job to do, you gotta do it well.
McCartney turned a title into an adrenaline habit. Number 8, the Allman Brothers Band, Ramblin' Man.
Lord, I was born a rambling man.
A Southern Sunrise. Dickie Betts on lead vocal, guitars weaving like 2 lanes into one. Country at the crossroads with rock, and the Allmans found a lane nobody else owned. Cut during a turbulent chapter, the song felt like a steady hand on the wheel. The melody is pure front porch. The soloing is open highway.
Living and doing the best I can.
It climbed to number 2 in the US, their highest charting single, and carried Southern rock into living rooms that never set foot in Macon. It's not about running away, it's about knowing who you are and packing light. That's why people kept it in the glove box for decades.
And I was born in the backseat of a
Every mile marker in that chorus still hits. Number 9, the Isley Brothers, That Lady Parts 1 and 2.
Who's that lady? Who's that lady?
Once a 60s smooth tune, reborn as a 70s lightning strike. The Isleys expanded to 3+3, and Ernie Isley's guitar, fuzzed, fearless, Hendrix kissed, turned the question into a mission. Percussion snaps, bass struts, vocals glide. It's church and street, and a sunrise over a city that never sleeps.
Real fine lady. Hear me call.
Top 10 on the pop chart, near the top of R&B, and sampled decades later. Hear that riff echo in Kendrick Lamar's I. It's a makeover that set the standard. Same soul, new suit, unstoppable walk. When that lead line arrives, you don't ask who she is anymore. You follow,
Real fine lady.
and you don't look back. Number 10, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Midnight Train to Georgia.
He's leaving. On that midnight train.
Started as Midnight Plane to Houston, a songwriter's line from a phone call. Then it found its true tracks, Georgia, not Houston, and its true voice, Gladys, steady as a promise, with the Pips answering like family. The story is simple, love over headlines, not failure, choice. She paints the city lights honestly, then chooses the porch light that matters.
I'll be with him.
It went to number 1 in the US and won a Grammy. But the real trophy is how people sing it together, eyes closed, like they've lived every mile. This is 1973's heart, beating on time. Not flashy, true. The kind of record that reminds you success isn't a place. It's the person sitting next to you on that train.
That someday he'd be a star.
Hold on to that thought as the doors slide open. And that's our ride through 1973. 10 songs, 1 year, a lifetime of echoes. If one took you back, that's the point. Music keeps the map. We just follow the lights.